Alright, so the next style Omega juice that we'll be talking about today is called the single auger style juicer. Now these come in two different types, an horizontal auger and then the all new vertical auger juicer. The vertical auger we'll cover in a second, but first I want to cover the horizontal auger. Now this juicer was made popular basically in the 1990s, and this is probably about the fourth generation style auger style juicer. So Omega had the Omega 8001, 2, and now they have the Omega 8003, 4, 5, and 6. So that's many different models. And what's the difference? Well, to sum it all up, the difference is this. The 8003 and the 8005 are identical except for color. So we have an 8005 right here. And this is the model. It's in the chrome look. The 8003 is the same exact thing, but it comes in the white. And now the difference between the 8004 and the 8006 is that these models actually have a little bit different bodies, so they look different. This has a flip-up handle, this has a stationary handle. And the only other difference, the motors are identical, all the parts are completely interchangeable. The only other difference is, number one, the warranty. So the warranty, once again, with Omega's greatest warranty in the industry, 15 years on the Omega 8004 and 8006, and 10 years on the 8003 and the 8005. The only other difference is the auger. So the auger on the Omega 8004 and 8006 are made out of the GE Alta material. This is a virtually indestructible material, 8 times harder than the old style auger on the 8003 and 8005. So if you're going to get one, I definitely recommend the 8004 and 8006 because it's not that much more expensive and you get an extra 5 years on the warranty. That alone justifies, in my opinion, the extra cost. So these style juices are a little bit different than the other ones we just went over. They juice a lot slower. So this machine runs at approximately 80 RPMs, whereas this machine runs at 3,600. This thing runs at probably around 5,000 RPMs. So it's also, the loudness or the noise. Like if that is a factor for you, we could turn this machine on. And it's pretty quiet. You can hear it run. And that's the machine running right there. Now we'll go ahead and turn this machine on, and you'll hear how loud this one is, and it's really quiet. So if you have, family members or roommates in the house trying to sleep in the morning when you get up and you're wanting to juice, this would be maybe a better option depending on what you want to juice. So now this machine's running, and it's much more quiet. So the benefits of the single auger design is that it's going to be a lot more effective, and you're going to get a lot higher yield and nutrient quality when you're juicing, especially things like leafy greens. These machines, while they will juice leafy greens, they're not as effective and they won't get as high of a yield on the leafy greens as the Omega 8000 series will. So these are really good at juicing leafy greens. These will also juice wheatgrass, and that's pretty much the claim to fame on these machines. These machines are basically stemmed from the single auger design that they originally, and Wigmore originally, juiced wheatgrass with, and they basically improved it, made it better so that it could juice wheatgrass as well as other things. So if you want to juice wheatgrass and leafy green vegetables, and that's what I think we should be juicing the most of because most people don't eat enough leafy green vegetables, this would be the machine for you. But on the other hand, if you want to juice a lot of carrots, maybe this isn't the machine for you because while it will juice carrots, it's a lot easier to juice carrots than one of the other style machines. The other thing is this takes a little bit longer to juice in. So the feed chute is a little bit smaller on the Omega, on these Omegas, the 8000 series, than maybe say one of these models. But this is a dual stage single auger juicer, so don't confuse this with other single auger juicers on the market. This is a dual stage juicer, which means once the produce is put into the machine, you get an initial crush on the produce and then juice comes out. That's the first stage. The second stage, as the pulp, which gets compressed, smaller and smaller and squeezed more, then you get a second stage juice. So these machines will make a higher yield than other single auger, single stage juicers on the market, and that's why I like the Omega juicers. So now let's go into the Omega Vert juicer, or this is the vertical auger. So this is a pretty similar design to the horizontal auger, but it's all different because the auger, instead of being long and running horizontally, it runs vertically, and it's a short and fat auger. this machine, in my opinion, has been a great improvement to the whole juicing industry for a couple reasons. One of the main problems with the single augers here, the horizontal version, is that especially if you're feeding in carrots, it can take a long time to feed the carrots in because the feed chute is so small. And the auger is so small that it only takes a small chunk of carrot off at a time when you're juicing. Now with the new Omega VRT juicer, you literally put a carrot in there and it takes whole chunks of carrots. So the time to juice is going to be a lot quicker. It also has the other benefits of this juicer, that it runs at a low 80 RPM, so it's going to preserve and not oxidize as fast as some of the other juicers. It's really great on juicing leafy greens, carrots, and a lot of other different produce items. So I do prefer the Vert for most juicing these days. It also, one of the main things about the Vert is it'll also juice fruits much, much better than the Omega 8000 series. Literally, you could put whole cherries in there with the pits and all, and it'll juice those, and I wouldn't try that with this machine. One of the only negatives that I could see about the Omega Vert right now is that it only is designed instead of to juice. These machines also are designed instead of to juice, but what I didn't mention is that these machines also have multi-functions. So the 8000 series could make things like nut butters, frozen banana sorbets, mince, garlic up for you, grind your coffee. So they're really versatile, and maybe we'll see one of those videos in a minute, and I'll show you that. But the Omega Vert is just a good juicer, and that's what it's designed to do, and that's what it does really well.